Oh, dude, this is fun. So
Yeah.
good to be back with you again, Sean.
So excited. The new digs.
I know, right?
I like it.
We got a new little
like it.
studio here, and speaking of new digs, some exciting stuff I've been hearing about you and Veronica. And,
Yeah.
some transition, and man, tell us what's going on with that. It's so cool.
Yeah, man. We, Veronica and I, first of all, she said she wishes she could be here. But
Oh, we saved a seat right there.
saved
for
it for her, but she's here in spirit. No, yeah, Veronica and I have decided to move brokerages.
That's huge.
And we are now part of the #1 Coldwell Banker office in the state of California.
Number one.
#1. So Coldwell Banker, Newport Beach. Huge change for us, massive change. But, it was necessary, I feel, for us. I want to say this first. Ultimately, we are so grateful for the past.
Sure.
So grateful for the opportunities that we had with the past brokerage. And so it was just, we learned a lot. But I think that Veronica and I can both attest, it was just what was needed, growth, change, kind of light that fire up under us again. And gosh, we couldn't be more excited. We're thrilled to be with this new brokerage. And
New branding, new everything, huh?
everything. Yeah. So now we're the Carroll Group, which is pretty cool. So the name is there. The Carroll
Love
Group
it.
gets to, we get to get out there a little bit more. I think for us, the main reason why we made this change, it wasn't only for our benefit. It was for the benefit of our families that we get to serve,
Sure.
right? Now they're going to be able to get an experience beyond, in our opinion, anything else, right?
It's elevated.
It's going to be elevated, and in this industry, as you very much well know, it's about the value that you bring to your families that you're helping, and it's about being able to give them a product that they're going to be comfortable with. And I think that and kind of walk them through it. It's going to be it's imperative, especially right now with everything going on.
Yeah.
This is going to be something that we're most definitely going to have to elevate a little bit, and I feel that where we're at is gonna allow us to do so. So we're pumped. We're so thrilled. And plus, you know what? The drive isn't bad either.
I know you were telling me about that, right?
I'm driving down to the beach every day, which is
smell that salt water.
yeah.
On the windows.
I can wear a long sleeve as opposed to a short sleeve and some shorts in Inland Empire where it's 100 degrees, and I drive down, the toll roads and it's 79. People are wearing hoodies and sweaters out here.
What's I was thinking about the branding, change, and the kind of conversations that you're having now, like when you're calling people, and how has that been? I know we were talking a little bit about that, but you're calling people, and now you're telling them about your, who you're with, and what kind of conversations are you having with that?
Well, right now it's very preliminary. It's very like, hey, reintroducing myself to the market under this new, brand, but also just, we could have done it anywhere. The conversation would have been the same anywhere. But now that having that backing is a conversation that it holds a lot more. It holds weight, right? When we mentioned that we're with Coldwell Banker, it holds a little bit of weight, right?
Sure.
So the folks that we're chatting with, the people that we're talking to, they know who we are. They know who we are, right? And I think that's, for us, it was just, that's important. That's the conversations that we're having. I think that it kind of brings a little, I would say a little bit of comfortability.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right, with the conversation.
Especially with your clientele down here in the beach cities and some very high-end, luxury properties.
Right.
They want to know who's my agent? Who do you represent?
Right.
Of
course.
Coldwell.
Yeah, and even
I know them.
Yeah, and not even just our luxury families that we're chatting with. Every family that we chat with, it's hey, we're here for you. The brand is here for you. The company is here for you. We're going to give you the greatest experience of your life, right? And I think that that's the conversations. I will tell you that. I don't know, maybe a little more confidence too in myself and Veronica, that
Absolutely.
in the phone calls. There's a much more just I don't know.
Hold
just
your head up
hold
high,
my head up,
shoulders are back.
Yeah, it's a fresh new start, and that's the most beautiful thing too. It's a blank slate, able to come in and just kind of just start fresh, and just kind of go at it.
Yeah.
You know, and
that Carroll Group name.
Oh, it's sick.
Oh man, I'm telling you, if I'm the client and you're talking to me, and I'm trying to figure out why I should hire you and your wife. You know, if I'm talking, hey, you know, I'm Sean Carroll from the Carroll Group, Coldwell Banker.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the man.
Yeah.
He didn't send his assistant. I'm talking to the guy.
Yeah.
Or to the gal. So that's impactful.
It is impactful, and it's actually it's invigorating, to be honest with you. It's such a good feeling.
I can see it.
It gives me chills.
I'm getting tingly.
It gives me chills, right? You know, it's one of those things that, you know, I take pride, and we both take pride in my last name.
Sure.
You know, and I think that, you know, it's a legacy that we can leave for our kids, you know, if this is what they so choose to do in their life, which we hope, but hey, we never know. But the reality is that, you know, we just take a lot of pride in it, and I think that it'll show, you know, and our brand is not going to just be, our brand is going to show who we are.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, man, I think that's just exciting.
Oh, I can tell.
Exciting.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about change. And, you know, there's some things going on in the market right now, and also, you know, with the NAR settlement and things like that. Talk about change, and you know, in talking with different brokerages, some are really ready for it. They've already been ready for it. Others are petrified.
For sure.
Some agents are leaving the business.
Unfortunately.
What's your take on all this?
You know, in the beginning, I was a little bit apprehensive about it. You know, I was like, wow, what is this going to mean? You know, are we all going under, you know, kind of thing? Is this just another way for, you know, the real estate market to weed out the folks that aren't ready or whatever, right? There was just a lot that went through my mind. I'm excited for it, to be honest with you, because what this is going to then allow us to do is show the value that we can bring. And I know that Veronica and we take a lot of pride in the value that we bring, right? We love the ability to serve our families. We love that. And I think that the fact that we have, you know, both myself and her, you know, in this together, working for our families, is going to be huge for us, kind of, in my opinion. It just gives us an upper hand. But I do think that, it's just about value. And I'm excited about it, to be honest with you. I think that I've already had conversations with families, and it goes well, right? I think the hardest part of it, to be honest with you, is just going to be the paperwork.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You know, we just had a meeting Tuesday at our office, and of course everyone's prepping for it, right? Everybody's prepping for it.
Is it August 1st, or is it in
so
September, October?
Well, August 17th is when some of the new forms start coming out, and that's when we'll start implementing.
Got it.
But it's not, apparently they're saying in January 2025.
Oh.
But we don't know. It's been November, December, right? But just got to prep for it now, right? Every listing that we have now, we're gonna if we feel like it's not going to be selling within a certain amount of time, at least by August, we'll have to revisit that. Hey, are we gonna, you know, be able to show the commissions, or our concessions? But it's just the paperwork, I think, is going to be the hardest thing, because they change it so much.
Yeah.
Right. I do feel like your buyer's consultations are going to be a lot. Should be a little bit different. A lot different. If you're not doing a buyer's consultation, you better do one.
Yeah.
You got to now show your value. That's something that Veronica and I have been doing, and we love buyer's consultations. We love it. And also with your listings, the same thing. You're going to have these really deep conversations with your seller, because, hey, a seller can say, I'm not giving no concessions.
That's right.
I don't want to do anything. Okay, Mr. Seller, Miss Seller, well, here's the reality of it. You're not give concessions. Your house might sit on the market longer than normal. So I would be remiss to tell you should.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you want your house in the market, especially in your situation,
that's right,
you might want to give some concession out.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
But I do feel like, yes, it's just a value thing it's just, you got to show your value.
Yeah.
And if you're a good agent, or a beginner's agent, if you're experienced, if you're not experienced, you just got to find out what your why is and why you're doing this, and show your value. And that's kind of where we're at.
So you mentioned something that's a key to me, is that you're excited about this.
Yeah.
And really what this whole arrangement is doing is it's showing more transparency.
Of course, 1,000%.
Right up front, and for years and years, buyers agents didn't have to disclose any of that.
Nothing.
In fact, you could just say, hey, you don't have to worry, you don't have to pay me anything.
Yeah.
I'm working, and now you're being more transparent, saying here's what my value is. But those that are excited about this, are the ones that have been doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
Showing and proving their value.
Right.
Those that are apprehensive about it are either leaving the business because they don't want to have to deal with this, or they're like, oh, I better change what I'm doing.
That's the thing.
Right?
That's
I got
the
to make
thing.
some adjustments now I got to show my value and prove it more. It's not that they weren't working hard
Of
before,
course.
potentially, but you know what I'm saying.
No, yeah, and that's huge what you said. I think that the reality is this: if you're apprehensive about it, right, this might be a benefit for you because it's going to bring you out of your shell a little bit, right? It's going to maybe find a brand new confidence in you. Having these uncomfortable conversations with your families. I mean, I know for me, having uncomfortable conversations is kind of almost a blessing.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it shows that you're able to do it, right? I mean, think of it. Our situation, we took an uncomfortable jump to come to somewhere completely different, but at the end of the day, like, it was a better situation for us, and we're excited about it, right? Could be the same when you're having these conversations about the NAR settlement. When you're talking with your buyers, hey, Mr. Buyer, you know what? Here's the reality of it. You might have to pay me X amount of dollars, or here's a certain percentage that you're going to have to pay me, right? But the reality is that we will do any and everything that we possibly can do to make this not come out of your pocket, or whatever it may be, right? However your spiel is, you got to it's going to make you feel uncomfortable the first time you have it. Look, I had a conversation the other day with someone, this was about a couple weeks back, had a conversation with somebody the other day, and it was a buyer's consultation, and it was literally just a flicker in the eye of this whole thing going on. We didn't know what was going to happen,
right?
But I put it to the test. Look, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, this isn't set in stone yet, and this has nothing to do with right now. This is going to be in November, right? When they said it was November. This is going to be in November. But, I went through the whole spiel with them. But at the end, I asked them a question, and I said, would you guys, if this was happening today, be comfortable signing this buyer-broker agreement with these terms based off of the value that I've given you today? Right? It was scary to ask,
question.
But I asked. You know what they said? Absolutely. 1,000%.
Yep.
We would start saving more now, right? I mean, really.
That's the reality.
But the reality is that, right? But it's once you get it off your chest and you have that conversation, then after that, it's like, okay, cool, this is easy.
Most of it is on our side.
It is.
It's the self-limiting belief sometimes that of our own value.
Yeah,
Even
of course.
though, we feel pretty confident usually.
Yeah,
but now we have to explain it to somebody else. Once you get past that and get rid of those self-doubts and those self-limiting beliefs.
1,000%.
This is what I do every day. This is...
Yep.
They're going to be comfortable with it. Of course. But if they sense that we're not comfortable with it...
Oh, it's a game over.
It's like a dog.
It's game over.
If you're nervous around it, you might get bit.
Yeah. And on top of that, too, we have to... And this is perfect that it's leading into this, going in this direction. Listening to something this morning, they're talking about, reversing the lens. Mm-hmm. Right? Rather than us, looking at it from our perspective...
Yeah.
We need now, even more than ever, especially in sales, we're going to have to switch our perspective and look at it from their point of view.
Absolutely.
And how we're being portrayed, to them, which is going to give you a little bit more of a cooling, calming, support-based conversation as opposed to, hey, this is the reality of it. You got to do this, because you're kind of in that sense just kind of push.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that.
That's a really good point. Reverse the lens.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how my conversation, my words are affecting the other person.
Yeah.
Because if the roles were reversed and they're sitting there telling me, I would want to know what I'm getting into. I want to know everything that this person's going to do. Mm-hmm. And of course, the compensation, okay, great.
Of course.
Fine. And move forward. But mainly this person I trust.
Yep.
I'm going to do business with them. They're going to have my best
interest. Of course, and it's just we're there to support. At the end of the day, we're there to support, bring value, and serve. That's it. That's what our job is as realtors, right? We're not just door openers or anything like that. We have to be there to support them. This is the biggest purchase of their life, could be, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to stop real estate. I don't think it's going to stop buyers. I don't think it's going to stop sellers. I think that, everybody at the end of the day needs to have a pillar to land on.
That's exactly right.
We're there to assist with that. And I think that it's just now we're just pivoting in a direction where I think it's going to be for the betterment, to be honest with you. And who knows what happens with it. I just, who knows, but
they'll keep tweaking it.
It's going to be tweaked.
Finally, they get it to where they want it to be. Sean, it reminds me of going back to the old days of the good faith estimate.
Oh yeah.
And these tiny little fonts that buyers had to try to look through to try to understand what's going on with the loan and this and that. Now, 3-page loan estimate.
That's it.
Huge
fonts. Yeah.
Tells you very simply what it is, my monthly payment.
Yeah.
The loan cost, everything.
Absolutely.
It's transparency.
100%.
That's 100%. Always better in the long run, and it's something we should be doing anyway.
Anyway, in every way, right? Everywhere we go with any situation, not just in real estate, but anywhere, transparency is key.
Yeah. You mentioned something that, when it comes to pivoting and making adjustments, we just came out of, and it's still out there. We just came out of a huge pandemic, COVID, and with that came challenging financial times. A lot of people are still facing that. A lot of people, what was it, $1.4 trillion of credit card debt in this country alone.
Oh, yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of challenging times. But my question to you is, what changes or what pivots have you had to make? One of them we've already discussed with your business. Yeah. But what other adjustments have you had to make to stay successful, to stay on top of your game, to better serve your community?
Man, I can tell you, I think number one and more than ever is just basics. Going back to the basics, that was the biggest thing. I can try and reinvent the wheel. Veronica can try and reinvent the wheel, but the reality is that real estate's been around for a very long time, and there's been a lot of changes and a lot of ups and downs and pandemics and market crashes and debts. There was just a lot. There's been a lot, and the constant is just going back to the basics, right? You're seeing more folks now, or at least me. I'm cold calling again. 4 hours a day, 4 or 5 hours a day, just on the phones, just trying to get something rolling, right? Yeah. Our farming or our social media, getting back into the swing of all of that, right? I think even more too is that trying to make connections with folks that we necessarily wouldn't, maybe making new friends, trying to find that's something. Veronica right now, she is on cloud 9. She is making some friends, which is awesome in our community and outside of our community. And look, that doesn't equate to business, and that's not the goal. The goal is just to be friends, right? You want to grow a relationship with any and everybody, but you never know what can happen.
Sure.
Right? But it's just going back to the basics. I think that was the biggest pivot. Have I pivoted anything else other than the move? No, I think that's just that. I think it's just understanding that what has worked in the past still works today. Yeah. Right?
That's right.
And just keep going, grind.
Roll up the sleeves and go
roll up the sleeves, and then you got to remember too, I think really understanding why we're in this business is another big key. Right? We can say, oh yeah, we love the money, we love this and that. No. It, to be honest with you, that's like last on the list. The reality of it is that we love this business because we are able to serve as many families and put them in a position to live the American dream anywhere. That's the biggest thing. Yeah. So if you hold on to that, right, it's amazing. It's such a good, it's a motivator. It's just a thrust every day, right? Your family is your why. My kids are my why.
Sure.
My wife is my why. I understand that if it's not for them, I wouldn't be doing this. Right? So you've got to go back to that. You got to be good up in here. Yeah. That's a big pivot that I also did too. Huge. I think I'm huge on that too because, going through this up and it's how it is, guys. Yeah. It's a crazy market.
Yeah.
Right? We go one day it's fantastic. The next day it's like, this is the worst. Then it's like, I don't like this business anymore. What am I going to do? Then you're looking for jobs or whatever, right? Yeah. People do it. Or you're contemplating leaving and this and that. And it's just messing with you. But if you just don't have this right, it's that's where that problem lies, right? You've got to have the head right. You know, I think the mindset is it's going to be fine. Look at things. It's part of it. It's part of it. It's
important.
Yeah.
Remember when we all went out to UWM and Mateen Cleaves comes on the stage. You know,
get your mind right.
Keep your grind tight.
Yeah.
And it is. It's true. It's about having the right mindset each and every day.
Of course.
And one podcast I was listening to, the guy he says, why are we going back to basics? We should have never left them.
Never.
And, you know, when we get busy, we're busy doing, deals are coming in, really, we're closing. It's sometimes easy to forget the basics of marketing and going out and keeping those relationships with your partners alive. And those are the things now, when business slows down, people jump back into it and start doing it. And that's how you got the business to start with.
And that's when then they start remembering.
So smart.
They start remembering, oh, wow, this is how I was staying successful. This is how my business was flourishing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you get so lost in the tangibles and everything else, right? But the reality is just go back to what you did, what got you here.
Yeah.
Right?
Stay laser focused.
Right.
And, you know, for me, it's a timing thing. We all have 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
right? And here's my family time first, our spiritual time here, boom. Everything else has to fit around that, whether I'm doing some volleyball or we're going to travel or
which you do a lot of, by the way, which I think is awesome. Good for you.
We do a lot of volleyball, and I take my wife with me. You know,
I love it.
It's great because she gets to kind of widen her circle of friends all around the country.
Yeah.
We go to places like Hawaii. And,
it's fun.
It's a good time, and you know, and it's keeping your day by day.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this day I do some social media, I do some phone calls, I do some connecting with past clients.
Yeah.
I work to help my team with whatever they need, and every single day. That's part of it. You can't leave out this and just focus on that, because now we get imbalanced.
Right. Yeah. I think that's another thing, you know, I think that is very important. And you know, Veronica, man, she's amazing in holding me accountable to that. Right? You know, there was days I can even last month or a month and a half probably is when I made a change in my schedule. Right? I was gone at the office 7 a.m., leave by 6 at night.
Whew. Yeah.
Right? You get so lost in that day.
Yeah.
Right? You got social media, you got conversations with friends, you got conversations with, you know, coworkers at the office. You get lost in whatever, right? And then you get on the phones maybe an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, somewhere along those lines, right? Then I get home and my kids miss me because they're already getting ready to go to bed. She misses me because now I'm, you know, it's at home grind. It's okay. Dinner's got to be ready. This, that, the other, right? You got to get your home good and then put the kids to bed. Then we go to bed, right? Like there's no time. So when I switched my schedule to, you know, waking up early in the morning with my kids, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was, being able to have breakfast with them, being able to now, you know, help them with the learning and play and this and that, the other, spend quality time with them, and then go to the office for, let's say, from 12 to 4, and I have 4 hours to knock out calls, and that's all I'm doing. It gives you a sense of like, this is why I came here, this is what I'm doing, and that's all I'm doing. So stay steadfast and focused on it. Yeah. Right? That's so Plus, it's a little bit like you're not exhausted.
Yeah. You got time.
You got time
to go take care of your why.
Now I can go home. Yeah,
come
exactly.
Back home and
then come back home at a decent hour and be able to still enjoy the rest of the evening. You know, now my kids are going, or Jonathan's going to be going to school here next month.
Wow.
And he's playing baseball. He starts baseball now in August 8th, and he's going to have practices every Tuesday and Sunday, right? You know, and so that's kind of like, you know. But Veronica is extremely good on holding that. Hey, how many hours did you work today? She writes it on a calendar. We have a calendar literally in our room. How many hours did you work today? How many people? How many contacts did you talk to? Like legit leads. How many did you talk to? Okay, Sean, you only talked. You called for 4 hours today, and you made 2 contacts. Pow pow.
Yeah.
Got to get on it.
Accountability. It's great.
Which is another thing that you need in this industry, in this business too, because we forget about it.
From your your
partner,
most sacred
yes.
person, your partner.
Love it. Absolutely, it's
That's
the best.
so good. I know my wife Jennifer too. She's amazing with that, and she gently nudges until she sees that she needs to give a little kick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I realize sometimes I get a little, I'm like, yeah, I was at work all day. I had this. Yeah, but what did you do that helped somebody else? What did you do that led to a good conversation that can lead to helping them close a loan? What kind of 100%. Referrals did you give to your realtor partners? And I'm like, oh yeah. I know I was busy all day doing stuff.
You get so lost.
You can get lost.
I wanted to ask you, going back to the NAR settlement, are you seeing a lot of buyers becoming a little bit apprehensive in your industry, right?
You know what? Right now, Sean, it's booming.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing is the trickle effect is the realtors that are confident like yourselves, who are still in the business.
Right.
A lot have left the business. A lot of lenders have left the business. Those of us that are still grinding day to day, getting back to the basics like you said, buyers are coming. We're educating them every day. I spend probably 60 to 70% of my day educating buyers.
Yeah.
Whether it's my past clients or it's my realtor partners buyers saying, hey, could you get these guys pre-approved? First time buyers, they're nervous, blah, blah, blah. And we'll jump on a conference call together and edify each other as the realtor partner and the lender. We're a team to help you. And I think that's been helping our realtor partners, because as they are transparent, saying here's what you're going to get for this commission, let's say, but know that it's not just me.
Right.
It's my office that's working for you. I have a lender partner. I have a title partner. I have an escrow partner. I have all these partners that are going to be servicing you.
Yeah.
And to be a part of that is a really great feeling, which means I got to have my stuff in order.
Yeah.
I got to have my team ready to go. And I can tell you, you've met Jasmine.
Yeah. She's
a rock star. She's our senior processor. And we have other guys, Zach and Hamed and Alan. We have a really good team behind us. And so I think from our perspective with this NAR settlement and everything, we have not just been sitting on the perch watching, how's this going to play out? We've been engaged.
Yeah.
And more than ever, too, we're engaged with the seller's agents.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes they're the most easily forgotten by lenders. We're so used to working with the buyer's agent. Oh, you brought us a buyer. Let's get get the loan. The seller's agent, it has sometimes been forgotten about.
Yeah.
So I make it a point at the end, not even at the end, at the start, not only to talk and meet if I can with the seller's agent, so that we're all on the same page with the buyer's agent, but then throughout the process, of course, communicating with them too, not just leaving it to the buyer's agent to inform them, keeping them informed, but at the end, talk to them. How did you feel it went? What gaps did you feel that needed to be filled that we didn't do a great job on or whatever? And now it's a matter of those tight relationships with the seller's agent. So I think it's forced us all to kind of step up our game and
you said
do a better job.
Earlier, transparency. Yeah. I think that, again, that's going to be one of the main keys in this whole thing, and transparency, value, education, I'm glad you're doing that, because you get some of them that are, not so involved, and I think that that's a big deal. Well, it needs to be kind of top priority all around. There's multiple parties in this transaction.
Yes.
And everybody needs to be well versed in it, as well as everybody needs to be, on the same page.
Yep. Right?
Especially with all these numbers that you got to be crunching now with the compensation and whatever it may be, right? It's be a lot.
One thing I had a conversation yesterday with one of my realtor partners in Texas, actually, and she says to me, we have an in-house lender. Obviously, we're free to use whomever we want, but we have an in-house lender, and I don't know them very well. They have a little desk area, but they do have a door, and that door stays shut all day long. So people want to approach, they knock on the door. It's just not very inviting. It's not very, they don't go to open houses with us. They don't help us produce collateral together. You know, I have to fight to, you know, get answers on things like that. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be, you know what, we're partners. We're out there walking the neighborhood together. Or we're doing an open house together. I'm helping you put your signs out. You know, we're knocking the neighborhood just prior to the open house saying, hey, come pick your neighbors, you know. And it just made me kind of rethink, am I doing everything I'm talking about? You know, am I truly doing what I'm educating people that they should be doing? And so we too have adjusted some of our schedule to say, okay, I need to spend more time here and making sure that I have time to go out to open houses too, and not just sending and encouraging our team to do it. So it's been really good. This whole NAR thing, even though it's more focused on the real estate side of things, all of us as partners,
it's everybody.
Absolutely, it affects us all.
COVID, same thing. Everybody was like, you know, it's only going to affect realtors, and it affected us all. You know what I mean? So I think it's important. I'm glad you guys are doing that.
It's enjoyable too.
Because you get out there.
I don't like to sit in an office. I don't like paperwork. I do it because it's necessary, but I'd much rather be out there having the conversations, helping people, and helping to, you know, see the community flourish. And
love it.
You know, Sean, as we wrap up here, the question I get asked a lot is, what are the steps to success? And we talked a little bit, you know, about some of the pivots that you have to make, which are generally linked to success. But what advice would you have for others who are either thinking of making a change, maybe it's a new brokerage or whatever? What advice would you have for others to be successful as we conclude this year and beyond?
Well, I'm really not sure I'm the one to answer the question, but I mean, it's such a wide, broad question.
And there's no wrong
answer. Right? Yeah. I honestly think I've found this newfound belief in following your heart.
Tell me more about that one.
I think, I just think that if you feel like something's right and it's going to help for the betterment of your business, you go for it. And that doesn't mean making a change into a new brokerage or whatever. Maybe it's, hey, you know what, I think I need to make cold calls now, or maybe I think I need to, you know, go to networking events more, or maybe I need to become a better agent's agent, or maybe I need to become, you know, a social media rock star, whatever you have, whatever the feeling is, whatever your heart is telling you. I think that is going to be key. That's key, because if that's tugging at you, it means that God is talking to you. Right? And I also think that you got to remember what your why is, what your purpose is. You know, your why and your purpose are much different, right? My purpose, I know for sure, are my kids and my wife. My why, you know, that's still my kids, but why I enjoy doing what we're doing is because I'm able to serve families and get them into the best positions possible, and being able to get them into a dream of theirs. You got to remember, buying a house is somebody's dream. A lot of folks have this dream for a long time, and they don't obtain it, right? Because they've lost sight of it. Right? But if we're there to help them and hold their hand and guide them to get them to their dream, that's why I do it. I love, there's more there, and there's something about being able to walk up with Veronica and myself to a family after we've closed escrow and give them their keys and give them their closing gift and wish them good, like a heartfelt thank you and a good luck in your new venture of homeownership. That is incredible. Right? That is incredible. You know, I've literally just one of them, like a couple about 2 months ago, I think it was. You know, we showed this family for a long time, and they were such a wonderful family. They were a veteran family, and a brand new baby girl, 2 younger girls on top of that. just a beautiful family, first-time home buyers. They were so pumped about buying a house, and it was like there was a lot that was going, a lot going on. It was like, oh man, we're not finally around, or oh man, we're getting beat out on offers, or oh man, like whatever it might have been, right? And there was a lot of driving from, town to town to town. It was just a lot. And I can see the discouragement at some point, and then finally we got them into a house, and this house was just absolutely perfect for them. Perfect. Got them in, and when we closed escrow, I remember Veronica met me there. We all went, brought them their closing gift. We wished them good luck, thanked them, very much, and gave them their keys, took a picture, did whatever we got to do. They walked off. We walked off, and I cried.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to miss that family. Mm-hmm. That is what I love. It's the friendships now that we've gained, but it's also the fact that we're able to, I cried. I think this is the first time.
A lot of emotion you put into that.
Yeah, but it was like, it's the first time that I've actually felt that, and it revitalized me. It revigorated the reason as to why I love doing what I do, and that is what my why is in our business.
What I take out of that, Sean, is, you put your heart and soul. You don't just focus on the work and the process, but you put emotion into it.
You have to.
You put feeling into it. These people become our extended families.
100%.
Right?
You've noticed we don't call our clients, we call them families.
That's right.
Veronica is a huge proponent on that, because Veronica has the biggest heart in the world, bigger than anybody's I've ever met, right? And she understands that these families that we help are our family, right? Yeah. There's times when we take a listing or we help another family, and Veronica and I will just sit there and just be so grateful. Thank you, God, for this thing, the opportunity to help serve this family. And we get emotional about it because you have to, right? Because if you don't, you're just going to get lost in the day-to-days, and then it's going to just be another...
It's a transaction.
And I don't like that. I don't even say... I hate to say the word.
Yeah.
I hate to say the word, and we don't say that. But I think that's it. You got to hold on to your why. You got to hold on to your purpose, and you've got to believe in your heart that you can do this. And we go back to the basics. You're going to be pushed around. You're going to be... If you're a newcomer and you're coming into the business and you're like, I can make this, set your standards high. Set your goals high and obtain them. Every day, fight for those goals. Fight for the opportunity to be better every single day, because people are going to try and put you down. You're going to get told no. You're going to get flack, and you're going to get the wow, you shouldn't be doing this right now. It's not. You can't do this. This is the that's the worst. I don't think you're fit for this. I don't think you can do this, right?
Please tell me I can't do something.
Please. Please, because all I want to do is just do it. I think that's it. I think
well said, my friend. It's
exciting, but
you live it. You and Veronica live it. You are the epitome of helping families as realtors. Part of this podcast series that I do is called The Mindset of a Champion. What sets you apart? And today we just heard what sets Sean and Veronica apart, and the fact that you were willing to not stay comfortable, but to get out and squirm a little bit and say, I'm jumping into some new waters here. I'm ready to... I have a feeling what's on the other side, but I'm not sure yet. But whatever it is, we're going to make it good. That's super exciting.
Intimidating, nerve-wracking, motivating, exciting, thrilling. There's so much emotions that go on, with that. But we are so excited, and we're just here to serve and be just a flicker, at least a positive flicker in our family's goals and lives. And
I know you're making an impact, Sean, and I know the family that we helped with Suban and Sheetal.
By the way, they're selling their other house, their investment. We just took the listing yesterday.
Hey, congrats.
I'm meeting them today.
That's so good. Well, let them know we said hi to. It was great. We went out to their house. We gave them a little housewarming gift as well. And just find people, when you can
Great.
see that they're in the house now, they're living there.
Oh, yeah.
And they even said, "Hey, you want some dinner?"
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, my wife's got it, but thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sean, so keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate
it's
you.
So
Thank
good
you
to
so
see
much.
you again.
Oh, yeah.
So again, you need a rock star realtor, Sean Carroll, and his wife Veronica, with the Coldwell banker of Newport. The Carroll Group.
Carroll Group, yeah.
Super excited to have you with us, buddy.
I just shaved my arms. I got hairs popping out. Yeah.
Good seeing you again.
Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. Thank you.